Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Banished, and welcome back to Nerdingham, which I'm pretty sure I didn't actually properly introduce you to in part 1 or part 2 of this series, so I do apologize for that. The town we're working with here is called Nerdingham, and I figured that's just a good name. I figured it works. I figured it's appropriate. I don't know why. I just kind of liked it. Anyway, today things are going pretty well, despite the constant reminders that storage for certain goods is near capacity, so we're going to turn off those alerts so that they'll stop rolling in. But I'm also thinking that we need to get a bunch of vendors to work in the market at some point, but also that we could probably do with a school, to be completely honest, and we could also probably do with a lot more stone. So I would like to work towards getting a mine of some sort. I'm also realizing that we have 10,000 food. These barns can only hold 5,000 of any item. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is say I want to remove all of the resources here. So all of those trees, any rocks, anything in there, remove all of it. I also want to go ahead and say that we need to remove all of the stone from this area up here. And this is going to take a while. That is going to be a fairly lengthy process, but all of that stone needs to go, and all of that iron needs to go as well. So all of that's going to be removed. It's going to take a while. We do only have one laborer right now, but we'll work it out. That's a big deal, but not that big a deal. And while that's going on, I want to start working on planning some things. So what I'm thinking is that I'd really like my mine to be down here. My mine and my quarry to be down here. And if you don't know what those look like, allow me to show you. So the mine is this building, and it actually has to be placed on the side of a hill. So right there is perfect. The quarry is a big flat pit, basically. It's a big flat pit. It's a pit, right? So I'm thinking it can go here, right next to the mine. And down here is going to be our sort of industrial area for everything. So that's what's going on down this way. With some farms in this flat area over here, then all of our houses can go around this stretch of river. So with that in mind, what I want to go ahead and do is start bringing some roads up this way. And I want to bring them along the river as best I can, you know, bring them down to there, for example, bring it across and bring it out and around to there, for example. And then from that point, we'll go ahead, we'll get a bridge. And we'll go straight across there with the bridge. And we'll make sure to get the roads in there as well, so the roads go at the ends. We can run it straight through. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to run it straight to the market. But that is going to be a good bridge to have. And what we can also do is, say, put a bridge right there, so that there's a more direct connection across to that road. And I'm also thinking that a bridge maybe here as well could be a decent thing to have, just as a little bit of an additional way to cross the river there. So we'll get those in. That'll be fairly useful to have. In fact, you know what? We're going to go for another bridge here. And I know that this isn't a super good use of resources, but it is going to be useful nonetheless. And what we can also do is say that we want to remove all of the trees and rocks and everything from those areas so that we get a bunch of, well, resources. So we'll clear all of those out as well. We'll get 3 bridges in there. We have some room down here for other important things. We do, for example, need to get a school at some point. And schools are actually very, very important. Citizens will get educated in schools to be more productive. So what happens is a child goes into school, becomes a student, and they stay in that child/student phase for a bit longer than they otherwise would. But when they become a citizen, they are much more efficient than they otherwise would have been, which is a good thing. I'm also realizing we are probably going to want to get some stockpiles in here. So let's go ahead and just get a few of those on the go so that all the resources we're getting from down here can actually be stored somewhere. So right there and right there for a couple of stockpiles. Could probably get away with one over here as well, so we'll absolutely do that. Wonder if I can get one here. I totally can, so we'll do that as well. And I believe a stockpile needs to be minimum of 2x2, so we're probably going to be stuck with what we have there, but that'll work. That'll get us room to store all of those resources. We can get the roads done at some point. A child named Eastony was born. All right, that's a name is what it is. We also have no one in the boarding house right now, which isn't terrible news. But I am slightly concerned that I'm just worried is what I am. I'm worried that the population isn't going to grow properly, and that can be crippling because that's going to slow things down later down the line. And what I mean by that is, I mean, think about it. Everyone we started with, all the citizens that we started with are around the same age. They're going to start dying around the same time. It's not as bad as a death wave in City Skylines, but it's rough is what it is. So hopefully we don't have to bother with that too much. Hopefully we can get the resources into these bridges at some point. I'm not going to bother saying, oh, we just got 3 new laborers. Theo, Dorothy, Howlin, and Kelville. Don't mind if I do. Do not mind if I do. Also, let's increase that fuel limit to 1,000 just there, so that the woodcutter will keep working, because we have a decent amount of wood, and it's a relatively renewable, I'd say relatively, wood is renewable, but it's renewable relatively well, given that we've only got 1 Forester's Lodge. So we'll see how that works out. It does look like we are gathering resources at a good rate, though, which is kind of what we want and kind of what we need. So hopefully we can keep that going, and while that's all going on, I am gonna say that we are gonna place the schoolhouse. Now, I really want the hospital. Obviously, the hospital will heal diseases, the town hall can be used for census data, the chapel will provide happiness, the graveyard / cemetery will prevent, what does it do? Prevent citizens from becoming sad when their elders die. Fair enough. We need all of those, but I think the schoolhouse is going to be a fairly important one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get this thing built ASAP. Although I don't want to place it... I don't want to place it in a terrible spot. Over there is not awful, but it's also not ideal. What about over here? We could absolutely place it along the river. And I think, honestly, I might actually do that. I think right there for a schoolhouse. I don't think that's a terrible spot. We'll get that built, which means I can actually run this other road here straight through to that spot. So that'll be good to do. Hopefully the stone will keep on keeping on and keep on rolling in. I reckon we probably could set 1 person as a builder here just to get some of the roads underway. Hopefully. Hopefully that'll work out. And honestly, we might even want to go so far as getting more houses here. I mean, we can definitely place them. We've definitely got the room. Would be nice to get things like the hospital, but I think, honestly, I'm just going to stick with the houses. So let's see here. That's the design that we want. I'm going to ditch my idea of leaving a gap between houses and the roads. I realize I need to not do that in this game. This game is by no means one for aesthetics, at least not at this stage of the game. So we're just going to place houses on the roads the entire way, and we're going to hope for the best. So right there, and right there, and right there. Alrighty. So what we can do is just bring a road along the front of those, up the side of them, and that'll connect to the bridge, which is good. That'll be 8 new houses, which is good. We need 26 builders right now, which is not good, but we're all right. We can make this work. We're slowly getting deliveries of logs and stone to the bridges. It's just going to take a bit of time, but we're slowly doing it, which is fantastic. So we'll keep that going. We'll keep the stone coming in. And honestly, getting the mine is going to be a big deal. Getting the mine is going to be so important, because it's going to be a reliable and not renewable, but a reliable source of stone, which is kind of a thing that we urgently need. And it actually looks like this bridge right here is going to be the first one to get done, so we can go ahead and start building that at some point. We have one builder who's going to be responsible for that entire thing. There we go. Did a little bit of work and left. All right. To each their own, I suppose. We also had someone that was freezing there briefly. I'm assuming that that's because they have to travel quite far to get the stone and the wood. They travel a distance and then they start freezing by the time they get back, but they don't die because, well, they get to their house in time. Fair enough. This bridge is not getting done right then and there. We did just get 2 new laborers, though, so let's go ahead and get a second builder in there. These bridges over here are both ready to go as well, which is fantastic. So I imagine we'll see both of those go up at some point. This one needs a bit more stone, which we are shockingly low on. We're also very low on wood, which is a major concern. Oh, that one's done. They're both done. Fantastic. That's going to make it a lot easier to go ahead and get back and forth there, which is exactly what we want. It means that getting wood and getting stone has just got a lot easier. Speaking of stone, actually, let me tell you what. Let's go ahead and collect all of the stone from up there, because there is a lot of it. So all of that, just every bit of it, if you wouldn't mind, all around there. Again, they're going to be busy for a while, but I'm not really sorry, to be honest. Not really sorry at all. That's going to keep them super busy, and that's going to get me a lot of resources, which I'm kind of all about. 2 more bits of stone for this bridge, and then it'll be constructed. Anyone coming over with it? I don't really see anyone, so I'll not rush them. To each their own, I suppose. These places are not even really started yet. That's great. That's just what you want. Houses aren't even underway. Speaking of which, schoolhouse, how's it looking? Still needs to get trees removed. I guess that's fair enough. I guess they are going to be just removing things for a long time at this point. And done. There we go. So we have our 3 bridges. Well, 5 bridges, technically. But that actually looks kind of cool to me. I like that. I think that works, especially once we start getting buildings, especially stone buildings, along the river there. That's going to look really, really good. I am quite excited about getting all the stone buildings in there. And also, hopefully, getting a whole bunch of resources, because I'm a little nervous about that, to be completely honest. I am a little nervous about, you know, getting enough resources in here. Also, could totally do this. Can totally get a couple of little stockpiles there. We can get one here as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll get one down here as well, just to fill up the space a little bit. Oh, that one can actually be removed. Hold on a minute. How do we remove a stockpile? I think it's just this, isn't it? Yeah, we need to remove the resources first. But I imagine that'll not take too long, because what I want to do is get a slightly larger stockpile just in those spots. So that'll probably work out. Once those resources are moved, we can go ahead and expand this one a little bit, done like that. And that'll be good. But we're getting some stone, we're getting some wood, we have plenty of resources lying around, so progress, I suppose. A lot of trees to be taken down here, and just so much work for them to do, but it's gonna be good. It is gonna be good. And now that I think about it, I think we do need another barn, don't we? We absolutely need another barn. Oh, we just got 2 more laborers. Fantastic. We got Gio Miranda and Lurland, or Lurland, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Interesting names. Interesting names. Yeah. I mean, my channel is called ConflictNerd. I can't really say much, but interesting names nonetheless. Very, very interesting names. Let's see then. So it looks like they are doing a pretty good job of grabbing the stone out there. This place almost has the stone it needs to be built. This place is not even started. I think this place is about to, no, where are you going with that stone? Oh, they're going to be going to the schoolhouse, which is actually almost ready to be built. Just need some iron. That'll be good. We can actually go ahead and assign a teacher right away and get some students going. That'll be fantastic to have, actually. Quite looking forward to it. I also think all of the roads are done. Which is also great news. Means everybody's going to be moving a little bit better. And this house is ready to go as well. Seems like we're making pretty good progress, honestly. The schoolhouse is slowly going up. The house is getting ready to go up. This is getting ready to be... I mean, can I just... I don't want to reclaim this. I want to get rid of that structure. There we go. So get rid of that and then go... and stockpile. There we go. Oh, look at these houses coming along. And... we can go ahead and get a teacher. Boom. We have a teacher. We also have Nalaya as a laborer. And Elmer's the student. Dude. That timing, though, that was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. We have a new house as well. Norman and Raynell living together there. So that'll be a new family at some point in the near future. We're about to get another house and another and another and another. I can't even speak. I'm so excited. Patrice and Tina now living together as well. This is what I want to see right here. This is what I want to see. Oh, wow. Hello. Nalaya, the 10-year-old builder. Okay. All right, then. Fair enough. Fair enough. Who am I to judge? Zacarlton and Nalaya. Oh, wow. Okay, that just took a turn. All right. Let's move swiftly on from that. And let's just celebrate the fact that things are getting built, huh? Let's just stay there in that court and not look into the details of things. Because Banished is... it's a strange game when you start looking into it. It is a very strange game. Also, might actually be worth going ahead and clearing out a bunch of resources from over here as well. Just to make sure we can actually, you know, get things like trees as soon as possible. Because we are getting trees. Obviously, the Forester's Lodge is doing a fantastic job. But it could be better. Definitely could be better. Also, the log limit needs to be increased. Let's get that up to 5,000. Let's get the stone limit up to 5,000. Let's get the iron limit up to 5,000. Let's say coal 5,000. Textiles 5,000. Alcohol 5,000. We'll have a party. Is what we'll have. We'll absolutely have a party there. What do we got? Burgeon and Elenetter. We've got Howlin and Lurland. Otzi and Kylar. Alright. And we have this place going up as well. We also have 3 students, which is fantastic. So who's going to live here? Oh, no. Kelville and Theo Dorothy. Alright. There we go. We've also got a couple more kids being born, which is exactly what we want to see. We got these resources being gathered, which is exactly what we want to see. Although we don't have this built yet, which isn't really what we want to see, but this is fine. Once this is built, we can actually keep the food production going really, really well. Because right now, it's sort of just being dumped beside the storage barns, which we kind of don't want. So what we'll do is actually take food production and say the max is 15,000 there. So 3 full storage barns worth of food is going to be the max. A child named Len Woodson. Not even gonna judge. Not even gonna go there. There's no point. There is no point at all. It's banished. It happens. I'll tell you what I will do though. Let's go ahead and get 2 more vendors there. Because 2 more vendors seems like it'll be useful. It means this place will work a little bit better. And I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I don't really know what the point of the vendors happens to be. I don't really know what they do exactly. I just know that the markets are good for people. I know that I think they prefer going to a market for their food and all that stuff as opposed to going to a storage barn. So we'll get a couple more of those. And I do want to stick with my idea, which was that we try our best to fill up certain jobs and certain roles before we massively expand. So getting the market going is definitely an idea. So once we can get that up to Let's say 6. I mean, we could get it to 6 right away, but we'll get it to about 6. And then we can look towards getting something like a mine or a quarry or something like that. And I'm actually looking at this space down here and thinking that that's a bit of a distant dream, honestly, because it is very far away. So, honestly, it might be a better idea to do something like having a mine here, which is a bit closer to everything than the quarry over here. Because that way they don't have to walk so far to get to it. And we can put another one down here eventually, same with the quarry. We can double it up and just have this be a big industrial sort of band coming into the town up here, and the town can still continue around the river and all that stuff. But I think that might be the way to go. I think that might be for the best. So we'll see what happens there. I'm also pretty sure these guys, you're a vendor, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, you're a vendor. So I think the vendors actually help hold things. I mean, they're moving them into the market, but that's not the worst thing in the world. So vendors might not be a terrible thing to have. Honestly, much like a physician, I think the hospital, I mean, if we were to go ahead and build the hospital, we can immediately get a physician, and we only need one. You only need one person to run the hospital. And it would fit quite nicely across the river. It would fit quite nicely there. So that's tempting. That is very tempting. Or, well, actually, it won't fit down here, unfortunately. It would fit over here kind of nicely, or even here kind of nicely. I'm quite tempted to say that we build the hospital. And honestly, I think since we have 3 students and 8 children, I think maybe we wait for this barn to get built. Maybe we wait for a bunch of the resource gathering to be done, and then we build a hospital. Just so we don't get carried away. I think that's maybe for the best. I'm also thinking I might build the hospital offset on these from these bridges, just because then I can put another stockpile beside it. Which doesn't seem like a bad idea. Or, if I really wanted to, I could just probably fit a barn. No, it won't fit in there nicely at all, never mind. Oh well, I can dream. I can dream. Oh, this is done. Alright, fantastic. We can now store up to 15,000 food, so let's just let people keep on gathering, keep on bringing in resources, and you know what? We'll go one further and say, remove all resources just north of this road for a little bit. So that'll be a lot of trees, which is gonna be a good thing. Definitely gonna be a good thing. And I'm also wondering, can I get away with another house down here? Is that a thing we can do? It totally is. What about another one? Nope. Alright. I mean, it was worth a shot. What about this side? I totally can. I can get a house there. I don't think I will. That seems like a weird spot for one, but it'll be nice to get another house just right there. Just to keep the space filling up and make sure that this area is as dense as I want it to be. Also, I wonder if I could start upgrading these to stone. I mean, 24 wood, 40 stone, 10 iron. We have enough to do like... Well, we don't have enough to do many, but we could start doing that eventually. We'll do wooden houses, or sorry, stone houses in time. I don't want to rush that, I don't think. That does seem like it would be a pretty bad idea. Also, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get a stockpile just here. We're gonna offset the hospital, so we might as well get a stockpile there. It means these guys can actually go ahead and gather stuff a little bit quicker, which is absolutely gonna be for the best. So if we can get that done, that'll be nice. I think I will go ahead and say let's start building the hospital. I think we have the resources for it. We nearly do. I mean, we have enough stone and enough iron. We're about to have enough wood, I would imagine, so that'll get built in time. The stockpile will get built in time. This house needs a tree removed as well. That'll get done again in time, so I don't think there's any major rush. We are early summer. How's this going? I'm assuming you guys are doing a good job there in the field. Yeah, I can see the crops growing now. Alright. I was a little worried they might have been late on it. Now, with that said, doesn't the crop usually grow a bit quicker than this? I could swear that... Huh. You know what? I'm not gonna micro that. I'm not gonna micromanage that. I'm not gonna keep an eye on it because it's never gonna grow if I do. I mean, it will. It's a video game, but you know what I mean. I watched Pot Never Boils. Is that the phrase? I don't know. I feel like there's a phrase there. I don't know what it is. A child named Mary was born. That's almost the most normal name we've had. There we go. This seems like it's going a bit quicker now. Oh, Elmer's is a laborer. Fantastic. Alright, let's go and get one more vendor then. Since progress is being made there. And hopefully we'll see some good things happen. I'll tell you what, let's get 2 more builders. We'll have 2 people as laborers just because, basically. And we'll let the builders sort of do whatever they need to do. Although I kind of wonder, is the removal process for construction work, is that a thing that builders do or do laborers do that? I've just realized that. I don't know if that's actually something builders do or if laborers are the one that will take those trees down. I also don't know if they're going to be taken down before this is all cleared out, so we might be waiting a little while. There's a definite chance we're going to be waiting a bit. Also, how did this go? I mean, it looks like we're getting decent amounts of food. It also looks like a lot of it's being hauled across to the market and to the other barn. I say that, there's nothing but fish and leather. So that's gonna have a very distinct smell, at least. Speaking of which, don't we have... Yeah, we have room for 3 more fishermen. Eastony has become a laborer. Alright then. Why don't you go and become a fisherman? Or someone go and become a fisherman. Oh, one of the trees is gone. Alright. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's right there. Oh, this is good, though. So that is getting done in time. And that's actually going to be really useful because it means these guys can bring resources in straight to this stockpile. In theory. There we go. Alright, not bad. That'll make the gathering process a bit quicker. And it looks like one of the trees is gone as well. So I guess progress is being made. Alright. Not so much down here yet. Oh, no, never mind. It has the resources. The tree is apparently gone, so I assume this is going to be... Yeah, construction has started. We also have Bonnie as a laborer. Eastony and Eneth living in there. Alrighty. That's fantastic news. This thing's actually going to be getting ready to be built as well, so it's going to need iron and logs and stone and all that stuff, but we'll get that in time. We can go ahead and take 2 of the builders off their tasks as well. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and say 2 more fishermen and 1 more vendor. That means this thing's going to be working a lot better. The fishing docks are now working at maximum capacity or maximum efficiency or whatever that phrase is supposed to be. And we have 8 children who will eventually be students. We have 2 students who will eventually be laborers. And we have 35 citizens, 35 adults, most of which will probably be dead, honestly. Not to be grim, but most of them are gonna die. And probably soon. That's not good news. That's not a good thing.